Ladies and gentlemen, this is JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin.
This is our Pantheon Season 2 review. We're going to go right into it. Our 57 subscribers, we gave you a shout out already, but shout out again. Thank you so much for joining us. Here we go. Kamehameha!
Dragon Ball, baby.
Interstellar! You know, I was worried about this, to be honest, after completing Season 1. Thank you, Zezzy. Welcome back, too. I was worried that, you know how sometimes you put so much at stake, you wonder how they're going to finish it, right? And then when I saw Holstrom's brain in the freezer, I was like, fuck it. This is going to go all the way, isn't it? But I want to give credit, though. Like, they put him some punches at the end, though.
Yeah.
Because, first of all, for me, Mr. Legendary CEO Lookalike died earlier than I expected. So I was like, what are you guys gonna do?
Where are we going from here?
Yeah, we have 2 episodes left. And I was like, oh. And that was a height.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when Dave died. I did not expect that. I thought they really brought in that love theme well. Good day, Skywalker. Yeah, and overall, except some really anime moments, but I guess they were trying to bring the anime moments, right?
Yeah.
Because
I guess it was intentional because after all, it's still an anime.
Because for me, there were some disappointments, though. I did not like. I thought the American UI would die. I thought she would sacrifice herself or something. Because I expected more casualties from the UI going against Holstrom.
Yeah, that's one thing I would point out about season 2, because remember that character is not exactly like a cardboard character.
Yeah.
We did see some like dimensions to her.
Yeah.
It's like there is a build-up. She has a family. We were introduced to that family. We understand the reason why she volunteered for that program and everything. And she was just basically wasted for that one scene against Stephen Holstrom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did like I really enjoyed Olivia's love story, though. And
hold on, who was Olivia?
The British UI and the Iran UI.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was my favorite episode, Lindsay. That was my favorite episode because and the virus, like, I was like,
man, this also, we've seen something like this many times in like previous animations. You know, like Gundam and what was it?
The Horde type.
The one about like Yukikaze.
Yeah.
We have all these. We're not exactly sure what they are, but they're alien, and they always like work in these like hordes and waves. They're like killer bees, basically space killer bees.
Remember in Black Mirror that bee episode, that cyber bee, and then they added Japanese elements by showing their faces. Like that was really cool. But I was just like, damn, scientists, if you can, it did bring. Okay, season 2 did bring me a lot of question marks though. Like, if you could have made this, like, why is your like safety protocol against UI so poor? You could have made this from the get-go, right? It's one of those things that bother me a little bit. Like, why aren't there more Caspian clones? Just like along that line. You guys have the technology to make this. Why are you worried about UI? You can just wipe them all. And there was stuff like that. And in the beginning, I did get it. It did take me time to get used to Mist being like, you're my sister. Yeah. And then I liked the build-up of that, but I felt like around episode 6, this show just tried to conclude itself, focusing on Eddie and Caspian's love story.
I thought the pacing wasn't as good as the first season. And I from the beginning of season 2, I didn't really like how they like skipped through time in certain episodes.
They did a lot,
they did a lot of that, and I thought maybe that needed more like explaining, or maybe they should have taken some more time to actually show us all that transformation happening.
Hey, another thing is they try to do the Breaking Bad thing where they show Holstrom's past where his real life Hannah girlfriend gets killed, right? I thought Holstrom should have had like one more monologue where you know he kind of goes like, you know, you can't trust people, kind of his pain response, because his father fucked him up, his girlfriend died like that, so that explains why you are this kind of person. But I wish they did that a little bit more. And his death was just a little bit sudden for me. I thought when I saw him doing the Shiva God thing against the UIs, I honestly expected one more like that. Like something like crazy.
Yeah.
Like the way we saw in What If. But that was kind of missing for me.
Yeah. I didn't expect him to die from the virus.
Right. And the virus being so strong like that, too, because I was honestly expecting a UI army.
Yeah.
Remember while they was buying the warehouse? And I didn't even like the way they like killed Renee. Isn't she supposed to be like a... And this reminded me...
You know, that was also so abrupt.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot that she was Renee.
Yeah. Because it reminded me a lot of... It went James Bond for me. Like, that was the... Like, okay, you're a James Bond villain, and she's your Dave Bautista from Spectre. And it did go super, like, storytelling mode, I guess. But, I
don't know. I just felt like Chonda was like a better written character than Stephen Holstrom. Like you said, if we're gonna look at like him in a broader dimension, maybe they should have had like a little more flashback or like those like monologues that you talked about to kind of convince us why he's the person he is. Yeah, because we already got that from Chonda.
Yo, because, like, he's like Vegeta, man. He's like Vegeta, and Holstrom's like Freezer. Where's his moment where, like, his troops die, and then he finally, like, understands Caspian and betrays his master? Like, something like that.
Yeah.
Like, why is he snitching on the phone? There were just, like, things that I felt like was done for convenience. Like that. No, because, like, and then why did you give them this cool-ass design? I thought... Like, honestly, I expected a legion of UIs against that safe surf.
Yeah.
And so, like, and those weird Russian UIs and other guys. Oh, but I did like the Iranian and Israeli Intel UIs merging.
Yair.
And that's the moment when I said, Dragon Ball! That's the only time I was happy to see that. And they're two diamonds because they're love. And then, and then I was like, where are they in the future, though? Yeah. I wanted more explanation of that.
That kind of reminded me of, you know, those, like, High Templars from StarCraft. They become
power overwhelming. Yeah. But the disappointment was the American UI. Because I honestly wanted... And here's another thing, Won-Jin. I wished they spent more time... Because remember, this show is called Pantheon.
Yeah.
So I thought they were the gods, or would be gods, and then like each UI have some kind of unique power. You know, because I felt like they were going there, but they just stopped mid like. And Holstrom's power level isn't even explained properly. Why is he so fucking strong?
Yeah.
Because the only advantage he has is being flawless, right? Being forever energy.
If you think about it, the other UIs who had already been there before Stephen Holstrom woke up, they have more experience being in that world.
Right.
So I was also kind of like asking myself, like, why is he
overpowered?
So dominant in that.
Yeah, I know he's
area.
A genius, but they never explain if you're smarter, you're a better UI or something. Remember, because season 1 did build up better because they spent episodes explaining that they can get out of the USB drive they're hiding, and then suddenly Holstrom comes and I'm gone, and then so it was kind of abrupt like that. But
and I think it was season 1 where they explained the fighting better because we see the visual fighting, but we like briefly see what's Maddie's father's name, Dave. We see Dave and Chonda fighting, like writing codes and stuff, remember?
Yeah, there were great details like that though. So
that kind of explains that if you are a superior programmer or a coder, then maybe you will have like an edge over your competitors.
Yeah.
So but Stephen Holstrom?
No, but one thing I loved though was William Hurt's voice acting. You could tell this was not a good person. The moment he talked, remember that car scene?
Yeah.
I was like, I wished him dead right at that moment. I was like, Renee, why are you in love with this guy? And like, you know, and they dropped hints of that with his like UI and stuff. And I honestly thought it was kind of jabs at a real life legendary CEO, but maybe not, you know, because It did also make me think of Day of the Jackal because I love that show so much. Because remember, there the billionaire is a very altruistic person. Here, he's a complete POS. And even that Chinese UI betraying him, I wish there were more.
I kind of wish they were better written because I really like that Chinese character, especially the one playing chess. Because he was a very intriguing character. No. And I love the background on him.
I don't think it's better written. He was good. He was written well, and then they suddenly stopped writing. Yeah.
So I kind of wish they developed him more. Because I also like the story of him, and he brought like a different perspective because he's from a communist country.
Yeah.
And
you know what though? Like, I think the writer may actually know about China well because like his explanation was actually really on point about how, you know, because when we look at China from the outside, we're always being judgmental a little bit. They have their own internal logic. I thought that explained it really well. It made it more intriguing, like the Iran-Israeli thing. So I appreciate them trying to make an Avenger super team like that. Except, like, some of them were good, and then it stopped, and then it stopped.
And if they were going to put, like, these UIs from different nationalities join forces and work together, I hope they... I think they could have done a better job at like, I don't know, sending this message that in this world the nationalities like really becomes irrelevant.
Yeah. But I think the show conveyed that well though, because like Maddie being Kim didn't really make me that proud or anything. She was just an interesting character. Because I mean, Chinese can be Kim too, but I'm assuming she's Korean or have some Korean in her. Scott Walker, is it windy tonight where you guys are? It's cold, Walker. It's very cold.
Imagine Jin could play Clark Kent with that hair. What's up with my hair? Does it have the curl in the front? It's like,
oh yeah,
Superman,
sexy Superman. But here, everyone's Superman, everyone's Matrix, and then listen. Now I gotta talk about episode 8 when they went full Interstellar and met, you know, those Keanu Reeves movie villain robot.
Yeah,
remember End of the World or something? I was like, damn.
That kind of reminded me also of those Sentinels.
Yeah.
From, what are they called?
The X-Men movie. Day of Future Past.
Day of Future Past, yeah.
Yeah. And then they were like, thank you for teaching us empathy. And Caspian said, you're welcome. I was like, my brain shut down. I was like, so you know what they did? In 30 seconds, not only did they show that, you know, CIs, computer intelligence, can turn into empathetic beings, they casually says, oh, by the way, we met aliens on the way, and then we told them all about you. Human beings are awesome. I was like, okay, thank you for that. It just hit every box.
Yeah.
Yo, Walker, yeah, let's do that in very soon, okay?
It was such a leap from our existing story. I was kind of dumbfounded.
Yes.
It's like, because like when it said, what was it, like 1,000 years later, I was like, oh, okay. And then when it said like hundreds of 70,000 years later, I was like, what the fuck?
And then Won-Jin mentioned Watcher, and when Maddie became Watcher, I was like, fuck it.
She has all those different universes lined up.
Yeah, because you know what makes me a little bit sad? Because watching that, I was like, I thought there was enough material for this to be like 3 seasons. But I felt they went to the conclusion really quickly.
Yeah. And
it reminded me a lot of the Korean zombie drama, like Kingdom.
Kingdom, yeah, exactly.
Because season 1, I felt like was a full story from start to finish.
Yeah.
Here, it started. There were very interesting plot points, of course. And then some of them were abrupt. And Caspian deciding to sacrifice himself was not a surprise at all. You knew it was going there when he said, I don't like you. I was like, you motherfucker, you. Yeah, and Maddie's going to cry again, isn't he? That's why I was hoping Mist would like defeat the
virus?
The legendary CEO, Mist. Because I felt like Mist was intriguing until they stopped explaining her.
Yeah, in season 2, she was just like She was like one of those like what's this, like a sidekick character. She kind of became like that Miss Minutes from Loki.
Yeah. No, Miss Minutes was better because she felt like Piccolo or something, where you know how Dragon Ball you have a storyline and then they become a side character. I felt like that, where I was like, So can someone please explain to me why she thinks you're her sister? Oh, you're made from your dad code, but so are you her half sister or full sister or why? Like I wish they did more of that. That was so confusing, too much. I can't watch that sober and also understand it. I feel like they skipped too close season 2 faster. Yeah, and because I think she's like the child of Lori.
Yeah, Lori's code and Dave's code.
So why didn't they explain? Like, I thought there should have been like a line where we have different mothers or something, and but then again, the idea itself was cool as fuck though.
Yeah,
like source codes merging, it was a big hint, but it did make me wonder why the Israeli and Iranian guy had to be diamond shaped, because mist can later change to humanoid shape. So I guess if they had more time, they could have done it. Well,
the diamond shape actually reminded me of those like what are those called? The angels from Evangelion. There's that diamond shaped alien.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think of that, but it makes sense. Because I mean, in the Bible, they're kind of explained like that. It's either that or 1,000 eyeballs, right? So that's interesting. And I think, but overall, still though, season 2, I praise the ambition. The ambition was great.
It gave me a lot of questions after watching it because it just dropped all that shit, all that bomb in the last episode. And I thought it was pretty smart because it then gives us this picture that we've been watching a simulation all this time.
I hated it though. I did not like that. And I did not like the Terminator stuff either. When Caspian woke up half naked and Maddie no wake up, I was like, she's pregnant, isn't she? And then when they did the Terminator thing and John Connor like guy dies. But I do like the creative way of resolving it though. When honestly, when Caspian said 100,000 whatever year, that was cool though. Like the mise en scène were great like that. Like am I saying that right? But like that set pieces were all great though. It did make me season 2 was more of an emotional season for me. Like they hit the pathos really well.
Although I still thought, I think it was it season 1 where Maddie's father dies?
He dies like 3 times.
Yeah, but when he gets his source code gets erased from
and then
Norway. Yeah, that was like really tragic, that moment. Yeah. I thought it was really sad, especially like how his face kind of like disintegrates and everything. Yeah. But in second season, when Maddie's son, I forgot his name.
Dave.
Oh, his name is Dave. When he dies, I was like, I was not really like compassionate about it. I was like, okay, he died. But Maddie's obviously, she's like really shocked and she's screaming and blah 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 blah. And I think it's because we didn't get to know Dave very well.
And it's not just that, because in season 2, the problem is everyone starts reviving.
It's like kind of like Dragon Ball.
That grandpa gets enraged so many times. I was like, okay. When Dave died, honest thought, no way he's dead. I was like, no, he's not dead. Like,
there's probably another copy of the code or somewhere. No, because
the problem with season 2 is there's so much science now, it's magic. I was thinking like Maddie would put her hands in her soul and then bring it up and put it in that Terminator machine. Oh, this because diamonds are a symbol of purity. Oh, that's nice. But in chemistry, diamonds are strong, so they might also represent strength. That's good, very good point. That's it. So overall, season 2 was it entertaining? Yes. Was it a satisfactory conclusion? Yes. But was it as good as season 1 as the premise? Not for me. Yeah, I mean, I had a great time.
Yeah, I had a great time, especially because it had all these elements of our favorite science fiction movies and animes. So that's something I really enjoyed. Yet it still managed to give us some new material.
I think here's another problem. I think, Won-Jin, here's the thing. I think anytime sci-fi tries to deal with time, I think no show has surpassed Back in the Future. Because you know why Back to the Future? Yeah, Back to the Future worked. Is its simplicity. It wasn't really about the time travel at all. But after Tenet and everything, and
Tenet.
Yeah, they just keep doing this time thing, and I think it's just really hard to put on like show like that to make us regular folks understand it like logically or something. So anyway,
by the way, the ending of the season 2 reminded me also a lot of Beef. Remember in the last episode, it kind of becomes weird. Yeah. So this basically threw us a lot of this like existential question.
Yeah. No, and the ending, like I was like, when Caspian and Maddie decide to live that life again, I was like, fuck that! You've been living 100,000 years. You are probably a scarier person than Holstrom. You're immortal, woman.
That's right.
Like, because remember,
and you simulate universes with billions of people living in there.
Yeah, you're supposed to think like a watcher. Like I just felt like that human element, like maintaining her, was becoming less convincing. It was convincing up to like Dave when she had a son and not wanting her to go to the other world, the cloud. But you know what? I was happy that this was not Black Mirror, though. I was happy because if it was Black Mirror, it would be Maddie stuck in space forever, watching Caspian die gazillion
over and over again.
Yeah. Zenzi, was it entertaining? Yes. Was it confusing as fuck? Yes. Especially at the end. I also feel like the end was longer than it was supposed to. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And yeah, like you said, when those aliens later turned out to be like the descendants of those the virus.
Yeah.
They show up and they talk and they become intelligent.
No, if it was Black Mirror, they would have said, die pieces of shit, and start invasion right away. Yeah.
Yeah. So this has a lot of bits and pieces and familiar moments of our favorite science fiction movies and TV shows and animations. Because that alien moment, that's we wrote it in the title. That's very Contact.
Yeah.
With Jodie Foster.
Yeah. I mean, it was moving.
And Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. So it could be called Teenage Interstellar, except you dump dad and save your boyfriend. No, but I thought they did a great job. So let's give a number grade, man.
I would give season 2 an 8.
Very solid 8. Very solid 8. I agree. I did think of 7, but I'm gonna give it an 8 because the ending did make me tear up a little though when I saw her and Daddy hold hands. It was kind of beautiful that way. For me, it was a series of mind fucking. Yeah, it definitely, but it was a mind fucking in a good way though. It's not like Black Mirror where you know you have a bad taste in your mouth after every. And see, this is why Black Mirror's creator is a genius, because I think sci-fi stories and fantasy stories even, okay, not fantasy, but sci-fi stories always have trouble finding the right conclusion. You know, because they have to explain their science stuff. Because fantasy, you can say like good beats evil. But that's why I think Black Mirror worked, because they were short stories. Yeah. They didn't have to go too much to the concepts or story. They could always be situational. But here it's
kind of like, you know, the future could be dystopian like this. And it could also be dystopian like this. Yeah. It could also be dystopian like this. Yeah. This is what Black Mirror was for me.
Yeah. Instead, this is a whole world. That's a very great comparison. There's a whole world, and they have to end the character's climax because we've been spending time with them for hours. So that I think, but given that, JoeJinMovieSoAwesome gives us an 8 because I thought they concluded that well. Yeah. So anyway, guys, we're gonna take a short break, and then Walker, we're gonna start our Let's Talk Now in about 3 minutes. All right. Thank you for joining us. Big shout out to Void Apparent again for suggesting the show. This was brilliant. This has been JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin, but before we finish, I watched the first episode again after finishing season 2, and I kind of figured out the point where Maddie, we realized that the entire season is a simulation from this sound, and the moment where Maddie kind of like erases her memory and rejoins that simulation. There's a point that hints that this is like the moment. You know, in the first scene where she's in class, in the history class, she like fiddles with her hair, and all the other students do the same thing. and she crosses her leg, and they all do the same thing. When I watched it the first time, I thought they were bullying her. But then after like watching it the second time, I realized that shit is like a bug or something. Because you know she's like a god, and she came in there, and something's up with the code.
Yes, thank you, creator, for giving us that mind fuck again. Thank you so much. I'm just kidding. That was a great catch. Anyway, guys, we'll see you guys in 3 minutes. Bye, bye, bye.
Bye, bye.
I did not know that. That's actually pretty smart. But also fucking annoying as fuck. It's like watching Matrix trilogy without the first one.
And I don't know. I was gonna say that this reminded me of another like science fiction movie or something. I forgot what it was.
You mean Reverse Matrix? This is Reverse Matrix.
No, not the Matrix. There was something else. Maybe I'll talk about it when I get reminded of it. In